Okay, if honorable members are now seated, then I will quickly go through a summary of the procedure. Please listen attentively. The Speaker of Parliament is elected pursuant to Section 79 of the Constitution of Sierra Leone, Act Number 6 of 1991, as amended in 2013. Constitution of Sierra Leone, Amendment Act 2013. Let me just quickly go through the qualifications for Speaker of Parliament. The Speaker of Parliament shall be elected by members of Parliament from amongst persons who are A, members of Parliament and who had served as such for not less than 5 years. B, qualified to be members of Parliament and who had served as such for not less than 10 years and who are not less than 40 years. Now, to summarize the procedure. Standing Orders 8 deals with the election of the Speaker. And for us to elect a Speaker, just in summary, we should have the votes of 2/3 of members of Parliament. And taking into account the current configuration of Parliament, a Parliament of 149 members, 2/3 of 149 is 99.5. So rounding that up, although we do not have half human beings. And because we do not have half human beings, we cannot round up a human being. So we drop the 0.5. So 2/3 should be 99 members. So during the elections of the Speaker, we'll go through the first ballot. And if we go through the first ballot and no candidate gets 99 votes, meaning we have not elected a Speaker. And if a situation like this arises, we'll go through a second ballot. And during the second ballot again, it's 2/3 majority of members of Parliament. If again a candidate fails to pull 99 votes, then a Speaker is not elected. We'll go to a third round of voting. And during the third round of voting, again, if a candidate fails to pull 99 votes, then no Speaker is elected. And if this happens, we'll go through a fourth round of votes. And during the fourth round of votes, it's now simple majority. Meaning, at a count of simple majority of all members of Parliament, not those present and voting. So in other words, we should have acquired at least 75 votes to say we have elected a Speaker. That is at fourth ballot. So the process is slightly tedious, That is why I want to entreat all members of parliament to be very swift, in their voting. Once the ballot papers are distributed and your name is called, you move forward quickly to the ballot box and drop your ballot. And the procedure is as follows. Once nominations are opened for the position of Speaker, we allow honorable members that so wish to nominate any individual who is qualified as per section 79 by proposing that that person takes the seat as Speaker of the 6th Parliament, and then we'll call for a seconder. Once it is seconded, I as Clerk of Parliament will put the question whether this House would like Honorable this or Mr. this to take the seat as Speaker of Parliament, and then voting will commence. Okay? And if you look at the ballot papers, on the ballot papers, it is printed Sierra Leone Parliament election of Speaker. And there are two boxes, ballot box, two boxes to be filled. If the person that has been proposed, if you want that person to take the seat as Speaker of Parliament, just tick I. You just tick the I box. If you do not want that person to take the seat as Speaker, you tick the second box, which is nay. In parliamentary terminology, I means yes and nay means no. I is spelled as A-Y-E. You get the point? I, when Speaker says all those in favor say I, the I is I-Y-E. So if you are in favor of the person nominated, it's A-Y-E. I. So if you want the person to take the seat as Speaker, it's A-Y-E. I. If you do not want that person to take the seat, it's nay, N-A-Y. Nay, and agree. Okay? But please don't vote in both boxes. We will void it. Last year we had void, last parliament we had void votes. Please, this parliament will not want void votes. So now, we'll go through the roll call quickly and the distribution of ballot papers. But before that, I, as the legislative returning officer, please listen. You have a question? Quickly, yes.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Clark. Mr. Clark, a few days ago, we were on 98.1, and I heard you say that you are only a member of parliament when you have taken an oath. So I would go to account those who did not take oath today.
Very good question. For the purpose of the election of the Speaker.
Allow us, please. Thank you very much for elucidating on the points and throwing light on some of the issues that has to do with the election of Mr. Speaker. Can we have the floor, please? Mr. Clark, you know you are in charge as a presiding officer or the legislative returning officer at the moment today. A power which anybody can use in his own power to make sure that he's in charge of parliament. But thank you very much. And I want to say thank you in line with the provision of the Constitution, Section 84 of the Constitution, that's calling us to here. At this time moment, after the general elections, we have 28 days to come to parliament. There's a correct leadership of parliament administratively that you have shown. But cue from my colleague, he said It's had a question because of your utterances on the media. So I was expecting you to elucidate on Section 83 of the Constitution, which you have not done. Let me go. Section 83 is specific and very, I don't want to say skewed, specific and straight to the point, which I was expecting you to throw light on. You have educated us today enough, but we want to have your explanation on Section 83 of the 1991 Constitution, Act number 6. That you cannot take oaths, but you can still elect the Speaker of the House, whether you take oath or not. So my colleague has just asked you a simple question, that whether you take oath or you don't take oath, can you vote for the Speaker of Parliament? If so, he was asking that the members present now, or those who have taken oath, can it be calculated for us to have the two-thirds? Section 79, subsection 2 of the 1991 Constitution, Act number 6. It's clearly stipulated that you have to get 2/3 successive voting, 1, 2, and 3. The fourth one should be simple majority. We are novice. I have to speak on behalf of all of us. We are novice. So we want you to give your time in explaining Section 79, subsection 2, and Section 83 in line with what my colleague has said. Thank you very much for giving me the floor.
Thank you very much, the Honorable
Mr. Clark.
Matthew Sir Newman.
Mr. Clark, thank you very much, Mr. Clark. Honorable members, Mr. Clark, you are here to conduct elections and not to interpret constitutions. Can you go ahead?
Thank you very much.
Mr. Clark,
Honorable members, I'm in charge.
Mr. Clark,
Please resume your seat. Please resume your seat. Honorable member, please resume your seat. Honorable member, please. I'm in charge. I will get you to talk.
thank you.
Mr. Clark, I stand on SO 34.
Honorable member, please.
SO 34, sir, allow me. Mr. Clark, this is the House of Procedure. I made reference to your utterances over 1981. And that is what he said. The public is fully looking at us. We are under the full view of cameras. We ask you to educate us. We did not ask you to interpret the Constitution. We ask for education.
Thank you very much.
I rest my case, sir.
The Honorable, thank you very much. Honorable members, these are very legitimate concerns. And it's true that I will be doing disservice if I fail to give you some explanation. Because as honorable members, if you are requesting explanation, it will apply to the same if the citizens of Sierra Leone are requesting explanation. I will not bore you with details of constitutional or ESO provisions. But what I will do is this, and it's simple. 83 of the Constitution is clear. For you to become a full-blown member of Parliament, there are 3 stages. 1, you put yourself up for elections and you are elected. 2, the National Returning Officer declares you duly elected. And then 3, you subscribe the oath of office. That is what makes you a honorable gentleman or a honorable lady. However, by the standing orders, it is clear that there is only one parliamentary process and procedure that a member-elect can take part in, even where he or she has not subscribed the oath, and that is the elections of the Speaker. Therefore, assuming from that particular provision of the standing orders, which states that you can take part in the elections of the Speaker even before subscribing the oath, the 2/3 of Parliament is calculated based on those members of Parliament that we are declared duly elected by the National Returning Officer. So to allay of fears, honorable gentlemen, this election is going to be conducted based on 149 MPs duly declared elected. That is my ruling. Pursuant to this, therefore, I may now want to, as the parliamentary returning officer, to open nominations for the position of Speaker of Parliament of the 6th Parliament of the Second Republic. Nominations are hereby open.
Mr. Clark, sorry, thank you.
Nominations, please.
Just one more before I nominate. Please.
Okay, I will give you.
I said I started with giving him praise for keeping within the ambit of the Constitutional Provision Section 84. And again, I want to pose another question to you. You have the standing orders. Yes. I want you to go to SO8 subsection 3.
Yeah, SO8.
And it's a bit confusing, but based on what you tell us today, we have over 50% of new members of Parliament. Yeah, and this election of Speaker is only once in every parliamentary year.
Yeah.
The 5th Parliament and the 6th Parliament, you do it only once.
Yeah.
So, SO8 subsection 3, which I brought to you in camera.
Yeah.
So, just before I nominate who we are going to elect for Speaker, I would like you to read that provision and just do a little bit of edification on it. So, and I will go ahead with the next step of what you have asked for. Thank you.
I thank you very much, Honorable Matthew Sanyuma. SO8 deals with the election of the Speaker. And let me read SO8-3. And please listen carefully. SO8-3. If only one person is so proposed, that is, in nominating, if only one person is so proposed, the clerk shall propose the question that person do take the chair of the House as Speaker. Let me read it again. If only one person is proposed, the clerk shall propose the question that person do take the chair of the House as Speaker. If more than one person is so proposed, the clerk shall propose the question that the first person proposed do take the chair of the House as Speaker. Interpretation. If you are nominating for the office of the Speaker and only one person is nominated and no other person is nominated but that one person, the Clerk of Parliament will propose the question that Mr. A do take the chair of the House as Speaker. SO8-3 only refers to the proposition of the question. It does not refer to letting the person go unopposed, because the Constitution in 79 and the standing orders in SO8 speak to that clearly. Whether we have one candidate or not, that candidate should be voted upon. And that candidate in the first, second, or third ballot must pull 2/3 of the entire membership of Parliament, or else we will go to a fourth election, which is simple majority. And it goes further to state that if there are 2 or 3 candidates nominated, the clerk will go one by one and propose the question that the first candidate so nominated do take the chair of the House as Speaker, and then the voting will commence on that candidate. If that candidate fails to pull 2/3, that candidate is packed in the corner, and then the second candidate who was nominated will now be proposed to take the chair, and voting will commence on that candidate. If that candidate also fails to pull the 2/3, he or she will be packed in the corner, and then the third candidate nominated, the clerk will propose the question that he or she takes the chair of the House as Speaker, and voting will commence. After the voting for the 2/3, if none of the three candidates pull 2/3, the two highest candidates during the 2/3 round will now go into a simple majority round, where by simple majority, one of those two will be elected Speaker of this House. Have I made myself clear? Is that now understood?
Yes, you have, Mr. Clark, I still have a question. You say we are dealing with a very gullible opposition. Can you please tell the audience in this way what will constitute the 2/3 based on the 100
I've said it. I said it before. 2/3 is 99 members of Parliament. Okay. Can we now proceed?
Mr. Clark, thank you very much for elucidating on the point of order I raised. I realize that even in the Constitution, 7171 subsection 15, the Constitution is supreme.
Yeah.
I have no question what you have interpreted to us. As I said earlier, you are in charge. Today we are the subjects, and you are the master.
Very much.
We carefully listen to you. We have carefully listened to you. You have cited provisions in the standing orders in the Constitution. And addendum to that, I have talked about the 171 subsection 15 of the Constitution. Yes. So we now fully understand that what you have put forward to us is clear to us in our minds, because there have been series of debates in the corner. We don't want those who are interpreting to us. We have new MPs coming from all over the country to have interpretation in the corners. Yeah. We need a clear explanation from you. You cannot interpret what we can dismiss. So what you have said, your ruling is final, I believe, because you're in charge. So we concede to your ruling, and we now go ahead with the process. So I stand, Honorable Matthew Sanuma, from Kenema District, representing the district under the PR system. They just concluded elections. But I represent in my own locality 2 sections. Yeah, that's the Buka Kajama and the Bulama. I don't mean to demean the other areas, the other sections we have in Kenema. They are fully thought of and recognized by me. So I stand on behalf of the people of Sierra Leone and the political party I represent, which you cannot take that one off the table, to nominate a seasoned politician, a seasoned diplomat, who has served in this nation, who has served in the 5th Parliament, the Second Republic of Sierra Leone, under which, Mr. Clark, I can say it with no reservations. Today we have over 30% of women in the chamber. Mr. Clark, the 5th Parliament of the Second Republic characterized by progressive parliament and transformative decisions we are taking. And we pass legislations. Boom, the government of Sierra Leone, boom, the MPs in parliament, boom, other internal factors as we have our external factors. I stand today, I will come again under the same provision of the standing order to talk about my candidate I'm going to nominate. And I hope I'm going to nominate my candidate. There will be no contention for my candidate.
No, nominate.
Mr. Clark, thank you. Allow me. This is about unity, freedom, and justice. Democracy has prevailed since 1996. We have seen change from opposition to ruling, from ruling to opposition. Mr. Clark of Sierra Leone Parliament, I do hear somebody who brought the ECOWAS to a forefront of ECOMOC, a transformative ECOWAS. That today is the building block and the pillar of democracy, the sub-region. Who served as the secretary in that particular administration. I just have to mark it because I don't want opposition. I don't want nomination like that. Mr. Clark, I stand on section 79, point of order. Now we allow our colleagues to go back.
We are on election. Nominate.
I want decorum, Mr. Clark.
Decorum, please.
Let me give me decorum. Let me present. It cannot be the man, the Almighty, but the Almighty of the progressive Sierra Leone, a progressive parliament, the man in whom we trust. The man who has served a Cambridge, a scholar, a doctor, a lawyer. On behalf of my colleagues, with your humility and strength given to me, my colleagues are the paramount chiefs which I go and trust. I'm a chief. I am not intending to campaign you, but I'm trying to convince you how do you vote for my candidate. My colleagues on the other side of the house, I hereby stand on section 7. Thank you. Mr. Clark, you have read to us section 79 of the Constitution that has to do with election, Mr. Speaker, in tandem with SO8, with all the provision under SO8. I hereby nominate Dr. Abass Bundu.
Nomination.
I, Honorable Bashiru Siliki, who is serving his third term in this parliament, and representing the people of Bauma Chiefdom in the Bode District, the chiefdom of the chairman of the greater LDP. I holistically accept the proposition presented by the Honorable Sir Martin Newman and second the nomination for Dr. Abass Bundu.
Honorable members, any other nomination?
We have a point of order.
Honorable members, any other nomination? For the very last time, honorable members, any other nomination? Honorable members, the question is that Honorable Dr. Abass Bundu do take the chair of the House as Speaker of the 6th Parliament. I start with the roll call. Honorable members.
Maybe the ruling SNPP decided to okay, Abraham, let us just.
And hereby post the results of the first ballot.
Excuse me, Lord, please.
There were no void votes. 96 persons voted. The ayes were 93. The nays 1 and 2 persons abstained. Therefore, by Section 79 of the Constitution, in tandem with Section 8 of the Standing Orders, the candidate,
How many police stations?
all the 96 polling stations. The candidate who was proposed to take the seat as Speaker of the 6th Parliament has failed to pull the 2/3 and will now resume the second ballot.
As you can see, the Paramount Chief MPs are coming forward. Normally they are the last to cast their votes. Once their votes is cast, once their votes are cast, sorting is done and then counting. After counting, the results are going to be announced. This is the second voting. The first voting ended, and those for the A had 93, the nays 1, void 0. So now that's Paramount Chief Kebi. Paramount Chief Kebi has been in Parliament for, I think his 4th time now as Member of Parliament, Paramount Chief representing Pujehun District. Now the votes are about to be sorted. The box has been opened, and as you can see, these are the ballot papers. The sorting has begun. The sorting has begun, and they are still doing the sorting. Okay, Ibrahim Samura, the second voting has ended, and they are now doing the sorting to know exactly what the figures are going to be again. We are all in tenterhooks, waiting to know what the results are going to, what the figures are going to be.
It's really very interesting here today at the Chambers of Parliament as we are seeing the commencement of the 6th Parliament, which
I think the result is about to be announced.
By the powers vested in me as Legislative Returning Officer, I hereby read out the results of the second ballot for the Speakership of the 6th Parliament. 96 members of Parliament voted, and the result is as follows. 96 persons voted ayes, no nay, no void, no abstinence. However, by pursuant to Section 79, in tandem with Section SO8 of the Standing Orders, the candidate who had been proposed to take this chair as Speaker of the 6th Parliament has not met the threshold. We will now proceed into the 3rd round of ballots.
Who was the Speaker for the 5th legislature of the Second Republic. So at the end of the day, what they are doing now is just to follow procedure, because that's what the law says. Because if they don't get 99...
Joseph, let me hold you there, and the results have been announced.
I therefore announce to you that the candidate who has been proposed to take the chair as Speaker of the 6th Parliament has failed to pull the 2/3, and we may now enter the 4th and final round of voting, which is the simple majority round.
All right, I think to say this could be the last result announced by the clerk of the House, the Honorable Parantarali. I go announce the ayes, the nays, and the abstinence.
Honorable members, this brings us to the end of the speakership election. And before I read the results of the fourth round of election, I want to refer you to SO 87, the proviso, which states, provided that if 3 successive resolutions proposing the election of a speaker fail to receive the votes of 2/3 of all the members of parliament, the speaker shall be elected by a resolution passed by a simple majority of all members of parliament. And by the current configuration, simple majority of all members of parliament is 75 votes. Bearing that in mind, I hereby, as the legislative returning officer, announce the results of this year's 6 speakership elections as follows. 95 persons voted. The ayes received 92 votes and the nays 3 votes. By the powers vested in me, I hereby declare the Honorable Dr. Abass Bundu as Speaker-elect of the 6th Parliament of the Second Republic of Sierra Leone. And I now propose that the Honorable Dr. Abass Bundu do take the seat as Speaker of the 6th Parliament. I now have the honor to invite the Honorable Abass Bundu to subscribe the oath of office as Speaker of the 6th Parliament of the Republic of Sierra Leone. Honorable Dr. Abass Bundu, can you please step forward for the oath of office?
He is now entering the well of Parliament as the Speaker of the 6th Parliament. He is no stranger to this house. He has been in this house. He has been in this house. A mistake was about to be made. But thank God the Clerk of Parliament came to the rescue of the Speaker and prevented that mistake. Honorable Abass Bundu smiling, walking into the well to take the oath of office that is going to be administered to him by the Clerk of Parliament.
Dr. Abass Bundu, are you a Muslim or a Christian?
I'm a Muslim.
Can you please receive the Quran? You are now going to subscribe the oath of office as Speaker of the 6th Parliament of the Second Republic of Sierra Leone. When I say I, you say I, and then you call your name and continue with the other wordings. I,
Dr. Abass Bundu,
do hereby, in the name of God swear,
in the name of Allah swear,
that I will bear true faith, and allegiance, to the Republic of Sierra Leone, as by law established, that I will faithfully and conscientiously discharge my duties as Speaker of Parliament. And that I will do right. to all manner of people in accordance with the Constitution of Sierra Leone.
In accordance with the Constitution of Sierra Leone.
And uphold the laws.
And uphold the laws.
And customs of Parliament.
And customs of Parliament.
Without fear or favor.
Without fear or favor.
Affection or ill will.
Affection or ill will.
So help me God.
So help me Allah.
May peace.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Mr. Speaker. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Honorable Dr. Abass Bundu has just taken the oath of office, making him legalizing his status as the Speaker of the House. So henceforth, he is the Speaker of the House of Parliament.
Honorable members, we now wish to robe the new Speaker.
The new Speaker is now going to be robed. He is going to be robed. This is exactly how it was done 5 years ago in 2018.
They were hard today. This week I will give full time today. In fact, I will not see now every Tuesday they wear.
Honorable Chairman Abass Bundu is being robed. He has worn the gown. And normally he hardly put on suits. He is smiling. I can see the leader of the house. The wig is also being worn on him. And one more thing, the mace. The Sergeant at Arms has now been called to present the mace to the Speaker of the House of Parliament as a symbol of authority. The Speaker is now being ushered onto his seat. Parliament has risen in honor of the Speaker to give him this honor. As you can see, he is being robed. He is now being robed, and he is smiling. He is not a strange man to this kind of affair. Abass Bundu, he has worn his gown.
Item 6. Election of the Deputy Speaker of Parliament. Section 80 of the Constitution of Sierra Leone, Act number 6 of 1991, as amended by the Constitution of Sierra Leone Amendment Act 2013 and Standing Order 9.
Point of order, Mr. Clark. Mr. Speaker, while you are away and awaiting your elections, the new Speaker in the Sub-Saharan Africa and Africa, yes, I entered the chamber before the Speaker was nominated. So clap for me, honorable members. We are not saying we want to delay the nomination or the election of the Deputy Speaker. Mr. Clark, we are unable to obstruct you because we wanted the procedure to go ahead. If you read SO 8 subsection 4, we are supposed to give some speech, give our appreciation or dislike or what have you, what we want to say about this, the proposed speaker before coming. So before we want to elect Mr. Deputy Speaker, let me tell you, in fact, I'm going to tell you because I'm going to move a motion to postpone the election of the Deputy Speaker today. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Clark. As I said, I still appreciate you. And as I said entirely, I will always refer you to Section 84, subsection 2 of the 1921 Constitution Act number 6. I have tremendous respect for you, Mr. Speaker, once you are not Arabic. That what you have said, what you have just spoken to me in camera, I will adhere to. And I believe, and that will be a comfortable time because of the time, so that we can be able to talk much about the fair decision. So for now, I will avoid the SOE subsection 4. Thank you very much. I take my seat. Let me tell you, Mr. Speaker, with your leave, if you want to call me JP, you have to take permission from the Speaker. You don't have just to call me JP like that. You call me JP with some amount of respect. Honorable Mohamed Bangura, you have to make sure that when you're going to call me JP, you have the legal Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Now, honorable members, I will now call on the clerk to proceed with the election of the Deputy Speaker of Parliament.
Honorable Speaker, sir, honorable members, leave of Mr. Speaker, I will now proceed with the elections of the Deputy Speaker. And
Mr. Clark, sorry to obstruct you. We want to engage the Speaker for a minute. I want to engage. Just give us a minute, please.
You are watching live commentaries from Parliament. The Speaker of the House has taken his seat, and at any time from now, the discussions are going to the voting for this Deputy Speaker is going to be done. And for now, we don't know who the Deputy Speaker is going to be, but we know that the Deputy Speaker election is soon going to be held. Let me bring it again. Honorable Alhaji Alpha Kanu, a veteran member of Parliament of this House. History has been made again. Dr. Chairman Abass Bundu has just been re-elected. He's coming for the second time as Speaker of this House. And I'm sure so many things are playing on his mind for now.
Well, I think he's really elated to come back. He has been very, very, very effective in the last Parliament, the 5th Parliament. It was a hung Parliament, but he managed it as if with a lot of dexterity. So with this kind of Parliament now, I think the job will be a lot easier for him. And we can't have any safer hands to handle this Parliament at this time. I think Dr. Chairman Abass Bundu is the right choice at the moment.
So are we going to have a much more decorous Parliament than we had in 2018 to 2023?
Well, I wouldn't say the last one was not decorous. It was a Parliament. That is where you talk. That is where you make noise. That is where you throw books at each other. But when you go outside, you are the same people, one country, one people. I believe Parliament will always be Parliament. And I think this one is going to be very interesting. The fact that the ruling party has 81 members of Parliament and the opposition has 54. And I know those 54 will take their place after today.
Thank you very much, Alhaji Alpha Kanu. Honorable Alhaji Alpha Kanu. And the election for the Deputy Speaker will start at any time from now.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I, Honorable Bashiru Siliki, a former Member of Parliament representing constituency 82 and the Bauma Chiefdom, now a Member of Parliament representing Bo districts and the southern region of the Republic of Sierra Leone, rise to nominate one of mankind. Mr. Speaker, I took oath in this Parliament in 2012, and the person I am about to nominate was one of us when we took oath in 2012. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the candidate I'm about to nominate has darkened the wells of this Parliament for the 10th year, and this is the 11th year starting. Mr. Speaker, I'm about to nominate an outstanding lawyer, one of the best in the legal profession of Sierra Leone. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I'm here to nominate a person who has gone unopposed in his constituency and district for the third term to darken the wells of this Parliament. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I am here to nominate the former leader of this Parliament to the Pan-African Parliament. As a deputy leader to him whilst in Pan-African Parliament, Mr. Speaker, I can say here without any doubt, any iota of doubt, that is one of the best members of Parliament in the Pan-African Parliament. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the candidate I'm about to nominate, whenever in the Pan-African Parliament he stands to speak, you can sense the respect from other members of Parliament in the African region. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the person I am about to nominate has served the 5th Parliament as a Deputy Speaker. And for all members of Parliament who serve in the 5th Parliament can ascertain that this candidate is one of the best Deputy Speakers that have served this House. Mr. Speaker, at difficult moments, this is the only candidate we can call SO2 Kada. Meaning, he does his duty as swift in the expectation of members of Parliament. So, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, on behalf of the people of Bauma Chiefdom and the Bo districts, on behalf of the people of Bo districts, on behalf of the people of the southern region, and on behalf of the people of Sierra Leone, and on behalf of members of Parliament in the 6th Parliament, I, Honorable Bashiru Sileki, nominate the Right Honorable Segepo.
Honorable members, Honorable Segepo Solomon Thomas has been nominated to take the chair of the House as Deputy Speaker of the 6th Parliament. Any seconder?
Mr. Speaker, honorable members of Parliament, all the adjectives I will have been used by the deputy leader in describing
who is the deputy leader, please? There is no deputy leader in this Parliament.
Former deputy leader. I've used all the adjectives I should have used. But let me hasten to say, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, that there will be no better deputy speaker that will be elect today than Honorable Secretary. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I was in this Parliament in 2012 with Honorable Deputy Speaker to be elected soon. And from the day we entered this well, I saw him as Deputy Speaker of this Parliament. And today, we are coming to second the nomination of Honorable Sengepo Thomas to be the Deputy Speaker of this House. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable. The question is that Honorable Sengepo Solomon Thomas do take the chair of this House as Deputy Speaker of the 6th Parliament. The roll call will start and the voting will start. Do we have any other nomination? We are proceeding. Okay, so we are moving. And this is a simple majority vote. And it is it is simple majority of members present and voting. The standing orders are clear. The constitution is clear. It is simple majority of members present and voting. So you listen to the roll call as you come forward to vote.
The sorting of the ballots is now going on, and they are sorting and trying to count to know exactly what the votes are going to be for the Deputy Speaker of the House of Parliament. I can say the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Sengepo Thomas, waiting to know what the outcome is going to be. I think the results have been sorted out, and anytime from now, the results are going to be announced by the Clerk of Parliament, Honorable Param Trawali. Progress has been made so far. Members of Parliament have been sworn in, Speaker elected, and Deputy Speaker about to be elected.
The assignment you gave me has been accomplished, and I now want to report back to you. For the elections of the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, we are expecting 96 voters, but 1 abstained. So 95 people voted, and here is the results are. The ayes, that the Honorable Sengepo Solomon Thomas do take the seat as Deputy Speaker of the 6th Parliament. The ayes, 95 votes. The nays, 0.
Honorable members, you've all heard the results of the election of the Deputy Speaker as pronounced by the Clerk of Parliament. By virtue of the powers vested in me as Speaker of the 6th Parliament of the Republic, the Second Republic, I hereby declare the Honorable Sengepo Thomas as duly elected Deputy Speaker. On behalf of the entire membership of the House, I would like to extend our warmest congratulations to the Deputy Speaker. We'll all have an opportunity to do so again at our next sitting in greater detail. For now, Unless there is an announcement. Is there one?
Well, Fambulem, of course, the number with the Deputy Speaker gets the 95 out of 96, one abstain, and the Honorable Singapore, the Deputy Speaker elect, for the 6th Parliament. It gets a rousing welcome.
But if you go back to the Constitution section 94, we may regulate our own business. Just for the edification, not for us, members of Parliament, for the gallery and those who are here with us. For example, we have former member of Parliament, Honorable Alpha Khan is with us. He knows that he is expecting us to give some felicitation to the Speaker and Deputy Speaker. I'm just asking you with your leave, Mr. Speaker. We have discussed it. But we just make reference so he can suspend that one to the letter so the public can understand. Now, we are not trying to abrogate any provision in the study orders of the Constitution, just for the edification of the public. And we can move to another item. Thank you.
The point is well taken. I observe, of course, that item 8 would have been an accepted speech by me, at least today, and felicitations would have come at the next adjourned date. But after consultations, we've agreed to suspend that particular item and take it up at the next adjourned date. In the meantime, and before the announcement, I would now like to announce the leadership of the House. I think it's an appropriate moment for us to do that, unless I hear any objection to the contrary.
Sorry, Mr. Speaker. It's just I want to know if there is any provision where the Deputy Speaker take those of office.
No.
Thank you.
Without the provision, rest assured it would have been adhered to. So I'll proceed with the announcement of the leadership, the rest of the leadership of the House. The House already knows, honorable members, who the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker are. So I don't need to repeat their names. The majority leader and leader of government business will be the Honorable Matthew Sir. Deputy Leader 1, the Honorable Bashiru Siddiqui. Deputy Leader 2, the Honorable Sir Emerson Lamina. Chief Whip, the Honorable Dixie Rogers. Deputy Chief Whip 1, the Honorable Veronica Kadisise. And last but by no means least, Deputy Whip 2, the Honorable Ibrahim Tawako. I'll now ask honorable members, the usual question, all in favor of the proposal just read out by my good self, say aye. Aye. And those against, say nay. The ayes have it.
Members of Parliament are kindly requested to return completed.
All right, now few announcements by the Speaker of Parliament. We, of course, now the procedure that the Speaker of Parliament just announced the structure, in the House of Parliament. As today the name, Matthew Newman, the leader of government business, leader of the House, and the deputy leader, another honorable, of course, Honorable Siddiqui, and then, of course, you get the Chief Whip, Honorable Dixon Rogers, the Deputy Chief Whip, Honorable Kadi Sise, Deputy Chief Whip 1, Honorable 2, Honorable Abass Lamina, and Deputy Chief Whip 2, Honorable Tawa Conte. Well, I think with that, they can round up the House of Parliament. They can close, and we're done there since this afternoon. Well, for now, we go one over the microphone to my colleague, Asmi Uba.
Tuesday, 18th of July at 10 a.m. prompt.
All right, the House adjourned to Tuesday, July 18th, 10 a.m. All right, Asmi, now, you don't understand.
Thank you very much, Daniel Mosire, for the commentary in Creole. Well, we are still in the well of Parliament, waiting for the Speaker to leave the House. Once he does, once he leaves the House, then the work for today ends. We are still expecting to get the views of a former member of Parliament to talk to us about this event today. The Parliament has just ended, and the leadership has been formed. The Speaker, Deputy Speaker, leader of government business, and the Deputy leader. And we've seen some new arrangement. For example, the former leader of C4C is now part of the leadership of Parliament's Deputy Leader 2 of the Sierra Leone People's Party. It's been very colorful here. Joseph, interestingly, we've seen the former leader of C4C now being part of the leadership of the Sierra Leone People's Party.
Yes, it's really interesting because we did not witness that in the 5th legislature, that they only had one deputy leader. Now we had deputy leader 2. And this we are speculations that we are all over the place. But when you talk to some journalists who have been around there for some time, they will tell you that we are expecting the Honorable Masi Lamina to be at the leadership level. Even also, but for me, the Honorable Tawa, it was a surprise because
Joseph, I need to hold you there. Let me get in Honorable Alaji Alpha Kanu. He's been with us since this morning. You've been with us since this morning, sharing your experience as a veteran member of Parliament, someone who knows the corners of this place, who knows the nuances. We've seen some new arrangements when it comes to the leadership. For example, we see Honorable Emerson Lamina, who used to be the leader of C4C, is now part of the leadership on the SLPP side. He is now one of the deputy leaders of government business in the House of Parliament. That's a new arrangement.
Yes, it is a new arrangement. It is in line with His Excellency's declaration that this government is going to be an inclusive government at all levels, at the judiciary, the parliament, and even in the executive. So bringing in Honorable Emerson Lamina is already a good sign that this government is going to be abiding by the declarations of His Excellency the President. I am very happy that it happened that way. I also saw that even the Western area got a deputy whip, Honorable Tawa Conte. So for me, you're spreading the cake all over the country, north, east, west, and south, they are all represented. For me, I believe this is a very good arrangement, and I am happy it came. So
it started well and it's ended well.
Yes, like Julius Caesar would say,